Alright guys, welcome to my first video on my new channel. A bit about myself. I worked in film for over 10 years as a props builder. I still do as a contractor, but I have some time on my hands right now. Film industry's a bit slow, and I thought I should start a channel and do some really cool creative builds, making cool props and set deck sort of things that are based off things I enjoy, such as video games and movies and anything that I'm inspired by. I actually have a really cool game room I'll take you on a tour. It's kind of like an arcade and bar downstairs, and I think I'm going to focus on making some cool stuff for this room. Uh, for my first project in this video, I've been playing a lot of Doom, and I'm really excited for the new Doom game coming out, Doom the Dark Ages. It's out in a few days. By the time this video is put up, it's actually probably already out or been out for maybe a week or two. But I'm really excited. I actually already got the controller for the game, and that gave me some inspiration as well as playing the game. I think I'm going to do something like a cloud ceiling. I don't know if you've ever seen those. I'll post a picture of those now. So those are very popular in arcades, game rooms, and in people's rooms who do streaming on Twitch and stuff like that. And they're really cool. And I think I'm going to attempt at doing something like that, but more like a portal. There's one particular piece of art, I'll put a picture of that here now, from Doom that looks like a kind of a tear in the sky, like a portal in the clouds. And I think I'm going to do something based off that and get a little creative. All right, so in order to make this Doom themed cloud ceiling, I've got a piece of plywood because I don't want to mount this whole thing straight to my ceiling. Mainly because my ceiling is like that old popcorn ceiling, so sticking the light strip and the polyfill to the ceiling will be a bit of a nightmare. And also, I don't really want it straight to the ceiling because if I have to ever take it down or move it, then it's kind of stuck in one spot. So if I mount it to a base plate and then with hooks hang it like a fixture a couple inches from the ceiling, then it's completely removable and self-containable single unit. So to start, I'm going to find the center and put this little LED pentagram. I just got that off Temu. It's just a LED light pentagram. Yeah, that'll be the center, and then I'm going to have the clouds going around it, sort of like a, I don't know, like a Doom portal. So what I got to do is, find the center, trace the circle in the center, and then I'm probably going to cut these edges round, and then start placing my polyfill, and then just get a rough, idea is the word I'm looking for. A rough idea of what it's going to look like and get my placement finished. Okay, so I got the base cloud formation roughly laid out. And I have drawn a little cut line that I have to make on the bandsaw on every corner. So I'm going to take the polyfill off now and get to cutting. Okay, I got a rough cutout. I know it's not perfect. I just freehand this quick with the jigsaw. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but also the cloud, well, the polyfill is going to overlap over the edge, so you're never really going to see the wood anyway. But I will, clean this up a little bit before I start gluing the polyfill to it. Okay, so I got my hole drilled for the power plug for the light, and as well as the eyelets that will be hanging this up. So I think I need to just check the fitting for the LED power strip to see the size of the hole I'll need for that light. I might be able to get away with using the same hole as the USB for the pentagram neon. If not, I'll just drill another small hole that will be covered by the clouds. And then I'm going to paint just the center, kind of like a bluey black, like a night sky. So when you see underneath the pentagram, since it's made out of Lexan or plexiglass, you'll see the, I don't want it to look like wood grain underneath. So just gonna do a quick little paint on that and get on to the next part. Okay, so I just got the eyelets installed, so that's the back end that'll be facing the ceiling. There is the paint that will be underneath the pentagram. And as you can see, that will be hidden under the polyfill, so you'll never see these. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to do the light strips to make it look like a circle of lightning. All right, so the Doom Hell Portal cloud ceiling is mounted on the ceiling. It was actually the hardest part of making this so far was putting that on the ceiling. I used the eyelets that I put on, and then I got some actually really heavy gauge speaker wire and did a cross pattern and hung it with some little hooks onto the ceiling. But just the clearance, because I have only a little space to try and get your hand on there and get the wire to hang on the hooks, was really hard. But for my last part of the project, I am going to attempt to, I guess, paint or draw the Doom symbol, which is this guy here. That's on a lot of the pentagrams and things in the game. Okay, so I'm gonna use this as my guideline and just kind of freehand it on here. These markers have a thick and a thin side, so I'm gonna start with the thick side and do kind of the main body of this symbol. I think we're gonna do it kind of on this angle. Yeah, so at the top of the pentagram. Let's see how this turns out. Yeah, you can't even see it. We're gonna have to go to paint. The marker does not show up at all. Well, I was really hoping the marker would work. It would have been a lot easier to draw instead of paint, and it would have been easy to remove if I didn't like it. But I got a cloth here, some red acrylic paint, and let's see how it goes. As you can see on this controller, it's not perfectly opaque. It does look like it was almost painted on in blood. So I'm not going to try and make it perfectly opaque like here on the album, well, the game cover art. So I'm pretty much almost there. Just need a little bit more opaqueness, I think. All right, and that is the Doom Cloud Portal. I really think the ceiling light turned out amazing. As you can see, I am finished painting the symbols. They turned out pretty cool. If I were to redo this, I might consider getting them printed off on decals, because freehand painting that onto the like kind of acrylic or Lexan material that this pentagram light's made out of was not easy, but it does look pretty authentic, like it was painted on with kind of like by hand in blood, sort of like it does on the Doom controller. So overall, really happy. And it makes a really cool addition to my game room. Quickly just want to say thanks to Bethesda and id Software for making such a rad game that inspired me to make something like this for my game room. Now, I hope you guys stay tuned to my videos because I'm going to make a bunch of other cool things, such as things like this Call of Duty Zombies MP40 that I completely made by hand. That's all cast out of liquid resin, and the concrete, I call it bunker wall, is made out of that pink insulation foam. I also made things like this prototype Enclave I bought from Fallout, and these cool guns that are all resin cast and hand painted by myself. So yeah, if you like cool art projects based off video games and movies and pop culture alike, stay tuned to my channel and keep an eye out for more fun videos. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the Doom cloud ceiling, and catch you in the next one.